Riley here. It's January 6th, and I wanted to give everybody an update about my court hearing, which I had this morning for my name change, and also talk about coming out as vegan. So let's talk about court this morning first. Well, court went really well. I showed up. I was like the third person in line for the hearings for name changes, which all happened at the same time. And the judge had already approved my motion for exemption to publicate my name in the newspaper. And so I got my final decree, which is really important because now I can do all my legal things with that. So I go down to the clerk's office and get 6 certified copies of my decree, 5 to use on the things that I think I need to use them for, and 1 to keep for later. That's $120, $20 a pop. But I thought it was important to make sure I had enough to do what I needed to do. So by this time it was only 8:30, so I figure I'd go do some running around and try to get some of my name stuff updated. I want to do the DMV and the Social Security Administration, obviously, but I have to do the Social Security first in order to do the DMV. So we headed down to the Social Security office, and we got there, and I was like the third person in line for changes to your Social Security card, which was super awesome. And they called me up right away. We were only there for like 5 or maybe 10 minutes tops. And the guy's like, okay, how can I help you? I'm like, well, I have a name. I need to do a name change on my social security card, and I also need to update my gender marker. Now, for the Social Security office, in order to update my gender marker, I needed to have a letter from my physician stating that I was diagnosed with gender dysphoria and that I was transitioning to the proper gender, female for me. And I had the original copy, or sorry, I had the original with me, and I had a copy with me. And I handed him the copy because I want to keep the original just in case I need it for something like the passport agency. And I don't know if I'm going to get it back. So I hand him the copy, and he's like, okay, what do you have here? And I'm like, there's the application, there's the final decree that's certified, and there's the physician's letter. He's like, I can't accept this. This is a copy. I'm like, okay, I understand. I have the original here. And he's like, what, are you trying to make this hard on me? Like, dude, it's one piece of paper. Like, chill. But this is where things go south because he licks his finger and starts rubbing the ink on the signature, and it doesn't smudge, so apparently it's not an original, which it is because I saw her sign it. So I'm stuck already right now. I'm like, oh. So he hands me the letter, and he says, so I'm sorry, I can't accept this. This isn't an original. I'm like, but it is the original. I saw her sign it. And he's like, it didn't pass the smudge test, so I can't accept it. We have very strict requirements. I'm like, okay, I understand. What am I supposed to do? That's the original. And he goes, I need you to go get an original, one with wet ink. And I'm like, okay. He's like, can you just go and get one and come back? I'm like, my doctor's office is 45 minutes away. That's an hour and a half round trip. And he's like, yeah, you can just come back to me. You don't need to grab a number. Just come right back to me because I know what happened. I know what's going on with this, and it won't be a big deal. And I'm like, okay. And at this point, I'm just like flabbergasted that he won't accept this letter that I watched my doctor sign. And in hindsight, my wife says that we should have asked for the manager because it is the original. But I was just like so taken aback, and she didn't know what to do. And so and I'm like, how do I tell this guy, like, I can't drive 45 minutes to get a letter just for him to say that it's also not an original. Like, it's not going to work. So I'm like, okay, I know this is an original, so I need to get something that you'll believe is an original. What do I need to do? Do I need to make sure it's blue ink? He's like, well, yeah, you could try that. Like, try that, dude. I'm about to drive 45 minutes to get this and come back. I was like, whatever. Okay, fine. And he's like, just come back to me. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll be back. And I left and kick a pillar outside. So I didn't get my changes done with the Social Security office today. I'm going to get a new letter from my physician. I asked her to sign it in blue ink and mail it to me. She was busy today. She couldn't do it because she was seeing patients because that's what doctors do. Like, they just can't make a bunch of time for everybody to come sign letters. That's not how it works. All right. I didn't get anything done. So I paid $120 for 6 certified copies of decrees that say that my name is Riley, because my name is Riley, and it doesn't mean anything. And that's really frustrating. So I will revisit in a couple weeks, I guess. I don't know what to do. For days to do this, to take off time to do this, and I thankfully my work's awesome, but I don't know how like helpful they can be. At some point I have to be at work. Like, I can't be running around dealing with government offices all the time. So that's what's going on with that. Started off great, ended terrible. But let's talk about being vegan. So, for a while now, me and my wife have been discussing being vegan, and this is not a New Year's resolution. It's funny, we started it right before the New Year's, the day after Christmas. And so from the December 26th to today, I guess. So that's like 12 days. That's like 2 weeks, like whatever. Okay. The funny thing about being vegan is I've told some of my friends and stuff that I'm vegan now, and their reactions have been like just like crazy. Okay, so I came out as trans to my friends a year ago before I came out to everybody else on Facebook, and they were all really accepting. And the couple people that I knew that weren't accepting didn't say anything. They just kind of faded off and stopped talking to me and went on about their lives. And that's fine. Like, if you don't agree with me being trans, get the fuck out. But I thought that people would kind of like be like happy for me that I was vegan, that I was like doing something so healthy and like also good for the environment, which like is like part of the reason why I'm doing it. There's several, and I don't need to talk about them here because I don't want to start a huge flame war or something, because that's what seems to happen when I tell people I'm vegan. My friends were like, one of my friends was like, yeah, just don't start with this like holier than thou bullshit that all you vegans do. Like, whoa, I just got grouped in with a group of people that I don't even know. Like, what kind of stereotype is this? Like, I'm just telling you that I don't eat meat anymore and that I'm gonna be healthy now. Like, I want to make sure that I'm a healthy individual. And I think being vegan is the best choice for me based off of all of my beliefs and what I feel. There was this one lady at work. I was like, I had some food and I was making my food at my desk, and she like walks over and she's like, "Oh my God, that smells so good. Like, what's cooking over here?" And I'm like, "Oh," and I'm thinking I'm gonna be cool, like surprise her since she thinks it smells good and stuff. I'm gonna be like, "Okay, well, I'm making vegan breakfast burritos," and she's like, "Oh, never mind." Like, what? Like, are you serious right now? And she's like, "Yeah, I couldn't do that. I I couldn't eat vegan." Like, a second ago you just said it smelled good. Like, what's different now but just because it's plant-based and not meat? So, I'm shocked, honestly. And for anybody out there who's thinking about coming out as vegan, just be careful who you tell, and maybe do the subtle things that I did before I told people I was trans, and see if they're okay with you being vegan. And if not, maybe just not tell people. One of my close friends who eats well, who I know from work, he told me after that incident, he's like, "Don't ever tell people that it's vegan." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Just say that you're eating breakfast burritos, like sausage breakfast burritos." And I was like, "Okay." He's like, "It goes a lot easier, I found." I'm like, "Wow." So this is a whole thing. Like, how many closet vegans are there out there? Like, is it really that bad to be vegan? I don't know. But you know what you could do? You could tell me in the comments below if you think it's terrible to be vegan. I loved getting all your views last time, and I got a couple subscribers, so that was pretty awesome. I'd love to see some comments. And if you want to hear more from me or and follow along with my other updates, I have a blog, and I've posted it below for you. I think that's everything, though. So for this time, this is Riley signing off. Bye!